Because, I'm just saying.
I'm going to call the town council workshop to order at 7 p.m. October 21st, 2025. Roll call. Tammy?
Here.
Ann?
Here.
Corey?
Here.
Cooper?
Here.
Fisham's here. Everybody, please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda. Actually, we have to
No, you
change,
gotta-
make one change. Yes, we need to add, the water,
No.
the financial, funding policy for nonprofits.
Second. Any discussion on adding? All those in favor? Unanimous. We'll add that after waterfront acquisition. Agenda items, waterfront acquisition committee. We've received an email that they will not be here discussing with us tonight. We didn't allot enough time and they wanted more time.
Mr. Coachman.
Yep.
I'm here on behalf of the committee, as a member of the committee, not necessarily on behalf. Am I allowed to speak?
Not right now, we're not gonna, you guys canceled. So we're discussing, if you want to cancel, we had you guys all on there.
You allowed us an hour originally. It got dropped down.
I don't think we said any time originally. We said you guys could come to our workshop. There was no time limit.
Can I withdraw our cancellation so that I can speak now?
You'd
So
have
if
to ask.
they wanna go with a half hour, then have at it.
Would you mind if I?
He's speaking.
If you want to
unofficially-
withdraw that,
He's speaking unofficially, not as a member of the committee, but unofficially. The committee is not present.
Would that be allowed?
no, I think I'd rather hold off. You guys had your opportunity and it didn't work out. We allotted you guys the time to come talk with us. But anyways, on the waterfront acquisition, I think this has gone on and my decision's made right now, whether we wait now or till February. My answer against purchasing the property in Johnson's is no. I mean, we can keep going on this, but I'd rather be upfront with you guys so you don't waste your time. Versus saying, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, that's where I stand. How the other people feel is up to them. If you guys want to keep looking at it on your own time, by all means, but I do not support it.
No, I agree with you.
I just feel giving notice is better.
I find that very short-sighted.
Well, I'm gonna be upfront. I'm not gonna hold it back. I'm gonna tell you how I feel so everybody knows.
You're entitled, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion, but I think that's very short-sighted.
I don't know if there's anything anybody else would like to say or,
Yes, can I speak?
yeah, go in.
I would have to agree with Mr. Clisham that I really am against trying to purchase the property as well. I think even if you continue to do this, it's gonna take so long in order to even just figure out the who owns the property, because everything is just so screwed up and
None of
such.
you have even
But-
listened, you don't know. None of you, none of
Let
you.
Ann talk, please don't interrupt. Ann's in the middle of a conversation.
Sorry, Ann.
That's all right, Kim. And I personally feel that, especially with the tax base and everything, I would rather see that be put on the tax rolls rather than not, because I think that the town would be losing money that way. That's just the way I feel.
Right?
Now, may I?
Yeah, Tammy?
Not one of you have given any of this, have listened to one thing about it. You're all going with your own thoughts that you already have your mind made up that you want the tax money. And that's wonderful, it's great. However, it's very short-sighted not to at least listen to what they had to say and what they found.
I know,
You-
I
you
have
just-
been listening all along what's going on, and I'm just
Not
being
really.
honest, where I stand in my mind is gonna change
And-
right now to February.
But that's okay, that's fine. I mean.
And I'd rather be
everybody-
honest with them and tell them
And
where I
that's, and
stand.
that's fine. What my issue is that nobody has actually listened to the research, what they've found, who they've talked to. I mean, they have done a lot of work, and I just think it's very short-sighted that you guys all you see is taxes. And we've got to figure out a way to bring more money into this town besides taxes. It's a huge burden on us, on all of us. And this is something that we could have at least listened to when they came to their conclusions. But everybody made up their mind before they even had a chance to hear it. And that's, like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I think that's extremely short-sighted. That's my opinion.
Yeah, thank you. Cooper, do you have anything on it? Any other discussion on the waterfront? All right, we'll move on to nonprofit ordinance.
So does
Tammy, do you want to speak on that, or do you want me to speak on that?
Yeah, the policy is, I'll just read it, is that okay?
Yeah, read that out, yeah.
The purpose is, Ann wrote this up, the purpose of the policy is to ensure that the funding for nonprofit organizations who request $10,000 or more is documented, expensed, and reported to the town council. Section 2, the reports the nonprofit organizations receiving funding of $10,000 or more per fiscal year are required to submit reports every quarter to the town council. Reports must be filed within 15 days after the close of the quarter or will be considered to be a non-compliance, and payments will be held until the town council is satisfied with that the filings have been remedied. The months are based on the town's fiscal years, July to September, October to December, and January to March, and April to June. Reports to be submitted will include a balance sheet, income statement, accounts receivable where applicable. So that's, I don't know what that resolved is. Nothing's been approved yet. It says resolved that town council hereby approves the reporting needed for the town, from the nonprofits with $10,000 or more request. So I don't have any issues with that.
I have no issues with that.
Anybody have anything?
I'm good with that.
I'm good to go with that.
Should we have a motion to accept it?
Well, I think what we have to do, Steve, is to, if everybody approves it the way it is, then at the next regular town council meeting,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
when we need to.
Right, we'll
Yeah,
add
we
it,
can't.
we'll add
vote
it to the meeting, next meeting.
Yep.
To next meeting to accept. Very good. Anything else for discussion? Cooper? Tammy? Well, we do have 20 minutes before our next meeting, and there's a lot of people from the public here that are here for a reason, so I'd like to let them address some concerns. If that's okay with you guys.
It's fine.
Sure.
If there's anybody who'd like to speak, you're more than welcome to speak now.
Hello, my name is Jared Kismal. I'm on the Waterfront Acquisition Committee. As I mentioned, I'm not officially representing the committee, but I am a member of the committee. I wanted to speak to you in the same capacity that Tammy spoke to you, because I believe that the town has a tremendous opportunity at stake here. I understand the layers to this problem, but I am asking you as strongly as I possibly can to give due diligence to the issue that's at stake here. I wish that we had the time that we originally expected to speak with you this evening. Given that we do not, just want to establish that we have done a tremendous amount of work. I hope that you give us the opportunity to present that work to you at the original timeframe that we agreed upon. I think that many people are looking at this on a surface level, and they are seeing that maintaining the property that the town already owns is taking it off of the tax books. And I think that that's, as has been said, extremely short-sighted. I'm not sure how much you all have looked into the laws regarding what in excess of the tax debt you can retain should that property be sold off. I think you will be disappointed when you look into that. From our case studies of similar municipalities that follow a model that we would be suggesting, we have found that there is a double-digit difference in the amount of proceeds that could come from yearly tax income and the model that we may suggest. If you are making decisions in the best interest of the town, I would think purely from a financial aspect, that if you look at one number that is a 6-digit number and another number that's a 4-digit number, you would agree that we would rather have more money as a town. Once again, I hope you will consider what we have to say instead of Mr. Clisham basing your decision now before presenting any information at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared.
My name's Tom Pierpont. I'd just like to speak on behalf of just concerned citizens. We allowed the waterfront to look into the $1 million property down the road, regardless of how you cut it. It's gonna be probably close to $1 million just to acquire the Johnson property. This town doesn't have that money. It doesn't. What we really need to be focused on, I agree 110%, Tammy, that we need to draw business in to relieve the tax burden. But at the end of the day, we don't have any businesses. As politely as I can put it, you can pick up a BDN or the Portland Press Herald and read about what Acadia is seeing right now. Acadia is the biggest draw in this state. The businesses are crying because people are not going to Acadia anymore, are going to the businesses. They're just going to the park. Just because we have a public park to go to does not mean revenue comes to this town. We're gonna have to front $1 million. I'm originally from the Camden Rockport area. I grew up with that town exploding in the 80s and 90s and becoming the tourist draw, because it's always been a tourist draw. My grandmother lives in the house my grandfather built in 1963. She's gonna be taxed out of that house because we had projects like this that have increased the tax burden on the regular citizens time over time over time, so that then it becomes a huge draw and everyone wants to come to Little West Rockport. She doesn't live in Camden, she lives in Little West Rockport. But because now it's been pumped with all these projects and all these fancy design ideas and things we're gonna do to make the town a huge draw for tourism, and what ends up happening is the locals foot the bill for it. And then they end up losing their homes and having to move out of their homes because they can't afford the taxes anymore, and then out-of-staters come in and purchase it. I promise you that's what's happening. I beg the town council, move on from this. If we want to come up with a business plan on how we're going to attract businesses to the town and build an infrastructure downtown, and then we get down the road a number of ways, and we have some funds to purchase something on the river, absolutely, I think that would be a great idea. But I think we're putting the cart before the horse. You have to have businesses that people can spend money at, not just the ability to come and walk around on the Penobscot River, because there's many places you can do it. Stockton Springs, Searsport, you can go to Bucksport, walk on their waterfront walkway, you can go to Brewer, you go to Bangor. We're not gonna be the only show in town, so why are people gonna wanna come here? If we have a little ice cream stand, if we have a mom and pop diner, if we have some more shops, like that new shop, the Winterport Marketplace, I love it, I think it's a great thing. More things like that is what I think we need to focus on the beautification of downtown to draw business and business revenue in. So I hope we stay the course and don't give in to the waterfront. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak?
Steve, I have a question / comment about the meeting the other night. When I asked if I could ask a question, I was told, bluntly, no, I'm not taking questions. It's my understanding that at any meeting, there needs to be time offered for attendees to pose questions, not necessarily only on the agenda item, but questions that they may have arising from anything that's happening that the council is dealing with.
Right, on that one right there, that was
Abruptly
no,
say, I'm not taking any questions we're adjourning the meeting and we're walking out.
Because it was not on the agenda either. The town lawyer wrote that, and he's the one that stated to us, there will be no public comments. You do not take public comments on this. I followed the direction of the town's lawyer
On what?
on what we were doing last week on accepting the resignation.
How do you know what I was even gonna ask a question about?
It didn't matter. There was zero comments. I didn't care what you were asking about. We were not taking any comments. in
I
that
read the
meeting.
charter today, and the charter explicitly says that the council, if there is a special council meeting or a regular scheduled council meeting, whatever the agenda item, whether it's 1 or 10 or 50,
Right?
there needs to be time set aside for input from town citizens.
Okay, like I said, that didn't come from me. That come from Redmond and Winchell.
So I
They're the
guess
ones that wrote the agenda. I had nothing to do with it.
my next question.
I had
would
to
be-
go as the agenda was stated and go off that.
My next question would be, have you folks read the charter? And do you understand, have you read the charter and understand what your responsibilities are as council members?
Yes.
Having answered yes, why then didn't you question the attorney? And why then didn't you allow me to ask questions at that meeting?
Because I'm taking the advice from the lawyer, the town's
But
lawyer,
if you
who's
read the
working with us
charter,
on this.
that's our governance.
Tim, I'm not gonna argue with you.
I'm not
gonna
arguing.
argue. I'm telling you, I went, what the lawyer recommended, how we run the meeting is how I did it. That,
And he knows the charter.
and he knows the charter, he studied it, he comes back, he says, look, he wrote the agenda for us for that meeting.
So you didn't feel a responsibility then to push back on him and say, what if somebody comes with a question? What alternatives? do
He
I
said,
have?
you do not, he said, in a circumstance like this, you do not need to have, he said, that causes too much
You're talking about the resignation.
on the resignation.
I wasn't asking.
Well,
questions
that's what
about
the meeting was about, was to accept the resignation.
it, but you have to have a section that's allowed for public comment. If I asked a question specifically about the resignation, and your legal advice was not to take questions on that, just say, Tim, I'm sorry, but you're talking about something that was dealt with in executive session, and we can't discuss it.
Yeah.
That would have been fine, but I wasn't even gonna ask a question about that.
Sure.
So I was disappointed, to say the least.
Okay. Marianne?
So what was the legal precedent that he gave to exclude public comment from that agenda?
I had it with me that night. I did not bring that stuff with me, but he had it listed out and I had it from him,
Is
everything
it
wrote
in
down.
an email to you?
I talked to him on the phone and wrote everything down. I might have it on my email.
Because the legal precedent would have to overrule.
Okay, yes, I do have it on email. Public participation at a special town meeting is not required. The attached council rule distinguishes between regular council meetings under section 1 and special council meetings under section 2. The section discussing public participation, section 12, expressly applies to regular council meetings only. Therefore, under the council rules, public participation is not required at special town council meetings. Tim Pease.
The charter would overrule any rules.
He looked at the charter before you.
I can't believe he did.
But anyway, maybe you could double check with
Yeah,
Steve.
Yeah, double check, sure.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, the special meetings are recurring, right? I mean,
Right.
it's not a once in a.
Not right now, no, like tonight, we have another special.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not once in a blue moon situation, so it would be
No.
helpful if you could get clarification on it.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments, discussion?
Could you post your findings on the town website so that the public could read that? Once you find it from the lawyer, could you then,
Yeah, I can,
just
I
like
can
it
give it
said
to the
today?
town.
when
I can't get on the town's website, but I can
No,
turn it
no,
in. so-
once you speak to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Then let the public know.
Yeah, I got it right here. I can publish just what he sent right here that,
No, I
No.
mean, once you find the information about, from the charter and what he said.
Yep.
That would be good. I have read the charter.
is there any other discussion? Oh,
Steve?
yeah,
Yeah, I would also like to remind these people too that this also has to do with personnel matters and personnel matters that the council is in charge of. And so it is not right for us to discuss personnel matters in an open meeting.
right. Any other comments or discussion? Nothing else. Want to adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn? Well, actually, no. Yeah,
No, we gotta adjourn.
no,
We gotta
we
get out.
gotta go executive session. Then we come back from
We gotta
executive
start our
session.
next meeting
Yeah,
at
we get
7:30. We gotta get out of the workshop.
In the workshop.
This ends the workshop.
Okay.
Make a motion.
One
Right.
second, where's the, executive session? Oh, there it is, okay, I have the wrong one.
Yeah, so we can make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Unanimous.
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
When the voting